Over $90 billion get left on the table because most small business owners don't apply to small business grants. In this live stream, we are going to find hundreds of thousands of dollars of small business grants, free money that you can use to actually start and scale your business, friend. I'm Shelby. I'm a small business development coach and a 11-year experience multi-million-dollar grant winner and grant writer. And I'm here to teach you all things grants. I've been talking about grants on YouTube for free, educate you guys, dropping some good gems for the last 7 years. And I'm so blessed to have you join in my live stream today. Yes, that's right. I said $90 billion on the table every year. You know, most small business owners actually don't apply to grants simply because they either don't know how to search and apply to grants, like they don't even know about these opportunities. Another reason I noticed is because most small business owners feel like, you know, they might not have the time to actually stop, search, and apply to grants. And then last but not least, a lot of small business owners actually have experience with submitting grant applications, but they are no longer, you know, encouraged to submit the grant applications because they've never won one. In this live stream, I'm going to teach you everything you need to know about how to make sure your grant answers are good enough to win, how to make sure you choose high probability grants, and also we're going to do a live grant search. So make sure you stay towards the entire live stream if you're joining me live, okay? Thanks so much for joining. Happy Friday. It's like we're literally getting through like the first week of February of 2026. It seems like time is going by so fast already. So yeah, happy Friday to everybody. I'm usually here live on YouTube every day around 8 a.m. Eastern time. So if you want to catch me, you know, live, make sure you join us every day. I would love for you to have the ability to ask me any type of questions or concerns or any curiosities about small business grants and how they work. I'm going to tell you what a small business grant is if you don't know what that is, and also where I find these grants as well. And then we'll just pick up from there, okay? So I love an interactive chat, so make sure you are, if you're joining me live, like the live stream so that way the YouTube algorithm can push it out to other entrepreneurs who need this good information about free money. And then also, if this is your first time, thanks so much for being here. I'd love for you guys to drop any questions or curiosities inside the chat, okay? So let's get started. Good day, good morning. How is everybody? I hope everybody's Friday is going well. So small business grants, if you look at the definition, if you Google what is a small business grant, it will tell you that a small business grant is a reward that you can receive, usually in the form of money, from a big business entity like Amazon, Apple, Google, Walmart. You can also get this grant money from any state or local government. So your state could possibly be funding you know, small business projects and development. So you do have that option as well. And then you can also get this free money, grant reward money, from any foundation or private investor that wants to give out grant funds. So that looks like other nonprofit organizations who help small business owners. You have funding companies like I Fund Women, the Fearless Fund. Those are like private investors that actually give out grant opportunities as well, okay? There will always be a small business grant opportunity for you, no matter what is going on economically, friend. I know some of you may be thinking, oh, I'm not going to apply to a small business grant. Things is going crazy. Eggs is going up. The prices for everything is going up. We have this particular person in office, and I just truly don't believe that there's any small business grant funding at all for my business or what I plan to do. Get yourself out of that negative, devilish, wicked mindset. You must be optimistic and ambitious when we are talking about building on your project or building on your business idea. There will always be small business grants available, friend, and let me tell you why. Small business grant funding, it helps out those big entities, your state, and also those private investors and private funders on their taxes. They get to report every year to the IRS about how much money they have given out in charitable rewards and gifts. And not only does it help them out on taxes, but it also makes their company look more reputable. It shows commitment to their consumers that are shopping with them in their community that they're building. So why wouldn't they share some of their income or revenue to give back to those who have actually shown support to their business ideas or whatever have you? So small business grants will always be available, okay? So get yourself out of that negative mindset. You cannot be a negative Nancy when we're talking about building a company, friend. Ambitious and optimism is truly needed when we are talking about climbing the ladder of success, okay? All right, so I have been writing grants, submitting grant applications for myself and thousands of my clients for 11 years. I have a 71% successful grant writing rate. So what that means is, out of 1,000 clients, I might help out in a year. 71% of them get approved to at least one grant that I submit for them, and that's simply because I go for high probability grants. I make sure the entire grant application is fully completed, and also my creative writing skills on how I answer the grant application questions. Okay, so we'll go over that in just a minute. So a small business grant is a reward, right? The vocabulary word for reward means earn. You have to win it. So there's no 100% guarantee that you would actually win a small business grant. However, it's still worth the chance. I told you earlier in this live stream that most small business owners don't apply. Some of them don't, simply because they might have experience with submitting an application, but they never had experience in winning. So they get discouraged. Let me tell you, you are not wasting your time when you are submitting a grant application. The reason why is because the grant applications or the grant program comes with additional perks and deals that can actually help your business grow. Imagine applying to a $100,000 grant opportunity that also comes with 6 months of free mentorship. You also get, perks and deals like, let's say, a $15,000 Google ad credit, or you might get some ad credits through other social media platforms like Meta, so that's Instagram and Facebook. And so if you are saying that you are going for this $100,000 grant program or opportunity, and you're going to use a percentage of that towards your marketing budget, well, being able to actually apply to that grant, and even if you don't win the grand prize of $100K, they may still give you the perk and deal of having 6-month coaching, as well as those additional deals, like I said, possibly a $15,000 Google ad credit, right? So it's very important that you still apply to small business grants. It also gives you access to a community of other small business owners who actually apply to this opportunity, who is looking for and eager to have those type of resources as well. I'll give you my experience. Last year, I applied to the $100,000 I Fund Women Poker Power Grant. While I did not get the grand prize of $100,000, and the business that did was very well deserving, might I add, okay? I still got the ability to be a part of a community of other business owners who like grants, who understand what grants are, and they're interested in it. Well, I was able to actually market my services to over about 100 people, and out of the 100, I got 2 high-ticket clients that were able to sign on with me, and they're still my clients to this day. Okay, I'm still applying to grants for them and helping them win opportunities. Well, I would have never been able to get those 2 high-ticket clients if I would have never joined the community and submitted the grant application. So even though I did not win the 100K, I still gained clients that will be with me for however long, right? As long as they keep growing. So don't put yourself in the mindset of saying, oh, it's not worth submitting. I'm not going to apply to grants. Grants is a waste of time. Grants take too long for you to be able to get funded. Listen, business is a longevity game. It is not a thing. This is not putting in parlays and you just bet on the latest football game and you win money. No. If you are looking to do something like flip your money quickly, then find another avenue. But building an actual reputable company, especially building it to being a $100 million earning enterprise, this is a long haul. This is a long game, okay? And you have really great examples of other American-based businesses who have actually scaled and how long it took them to get to where they are. Amazon has been around since 1994, and he's only just became a billionaire, like just not even a decade ago, right? And the same thing with other business owners, right? You have some small business owners, like, for example, Pinky Cole, who owns Slutty Vegan. Well, she actually had her own separate, Jamaican restaurant where she's from, and she had that restaurant first that actually failed. She tells us her story all the time on social media. And, it took like ebbs and flows. It took consistency. It took perseverance. It took her to go through trials and tribulations and to be consistent with building on the idea that she has and having faith. And now she's a multi-million-dollar earning company and looking to franchise Flooded Vegan. You understand? So it's the rags to riches story, yeah, but you have to be understanding that building a business, it's not a quick turnaround time. I know what you see on social media. Some people say, hey, I started my e-commerce business, I started selling candles, I started selling digital products, and I became a millionaire overnight. But that's not actually 100% true, okay? Also, there's an algorithm behind everything. I'll probably talk about that later in the live stream, okay? So grants, there is, for small business grants, another thing you don't have to worry about is credit checks. So there is no personal credit checks needed for any small business grant opportunity. And also, you don't have to worry about providing your personal information like your social security number, okay? Small business grants are literally funding opportunities for free. It's called non-dilutive, so that means you do not have to pay it back. It's free money that you can get for your business and your business mission and to help your business actually grow. So they're definitely going to ask questions on the application like, what is your business about? So tell us about your business. Tell us how your business and your product and service is impactful to your community that you're serving. And how would you use this grant funding to help you continue on that influence or impact? So it's important that you have things like a business plan that outlines that, or you yourself already have like a passion for what you're doing. So that way, answering these grant questions from the heart and being very clear and detailed will actually help you increase your chances of approvals. These businesses that you actually see that win these grant opportunities, friend, are businesses and business owners who have went through a problem and they created the solution by going through that problem themselves, and they are actually able to tell their story. So you may actually come across a grant question that asks, tell us your story, tell us why did you start your business. Now, it's important that you have a story, friend, and I'm talking about something that's more specific to your business. And I'll say it like this, and I'm going to be very, very direct. When they ask you the question on the grant application, tell us your story, why did you start your business? Let's say you are getting into real estate. Well, you want to make sure that when you're explaining your story, it's not really coming from a place of, oh, I just need money, right? So your answer, what I mean by that is your answer could be something like, oh, well, I'm going through a financial hardship. I lost my job and I decided to get into real estate, taking money out of my 401k so that way I can get myself back on feet and I can create financial freedom for my family. No, that's very vague, and that's not really giving us any passion on the reasons for why you are building your business or you're getting into real estate. There's no mission behind it, right? So you're just pretty much getting into real estate doing fix and flips because you're trying to make money. If that's something that you're doing, cool, but it's not good enough for grants. Grants are very community impactful driven opportunities. So they want to know specifically why did you get into real estate or why did you get into that particular grant, business. So you can say things to a better answer, right? Would be you can tell a time when you actually was consistently renting and you actually experienced an eviction. So you had to take out certain credits and save up your money. You had to actually move in with your family member or friend for a couple months so you can save the money for a down payment on a home. You also noticed that you didn't the process of buying a home, you weren't educated in that. So you appreciate programs, first time home buying programs that actually walk you through that entire process. Well, if you're getting into real estate, your entire mission is to help women, persons of colors, minorities, or first-time home buyers have that same exact quality of experience that you had when you first bought your home, and holding their hand through the entire process and providing them with a affordable housing opportunity or option. So that answer that I just gave you is a much better answer that explains, your entire business mission, what your experience you went through, and also exactly why you decided to get into real estate or why you decided to start your real estate business. You understand? Versus the other one is like, oh, I just need to make money because I'm trying to get myself out of this situation. While that may be true, while you don't want to continue to experience financial hardships, it's very important that when we're going for free money grant opportunities, understand that you need to be very compassionate, have a story, and just tell them, be very mission driven. There we go. Be very mission driven. Okay. All right. Awesome. So, where do I find these grants? A frequently asked question. So I use grantwatch.com. For some reason why I can't get on GrantWatch at the moment. I think it's because I don't have my VPN turned on. So I can't get on GrantWatch for some reason. I'm going to have to try that later. But grantwatch.com, I showed you guys in another video. I'm also going to show you another one that you can go to as well. Let me share my screen. So you can visit, grants.gov. This is another site that you can use to actually find grants as well. If you are an established business and you are looking for big money grants. I did receive a comment the other day of someone telling me a little bit about their story and how they are actually rebuilding their business and it needs $600,000. Well, if you are a business that's like so, and you need like 400K, 600,000, 1.2 million, 2 million, 3 million, 10 million, 100 million. Well, this is the site that you would actually find those particular opportunities. It is free. All you have to do is simply click on search grants right here in the top left-hand corner, and then it will take you directly to a place where you can find grants that are federally funded. This is the free government website based in the United States for all United States-based businesses and companies and organizations and nonprofits. You can use this site to actually find those grants. Okay, these are government-funded grants. Now, it's very important to understand the jargon and the language for these particular grants as well. So if you are kind of confused on what that particular grant program is requesting, you can always use AI tools like ChatGPT. Yesterday in our live stream, we went over how we can use AI to help us comprehend and understand exactly what the grant mission is and what they're requesting. So you can always just simply click on, let's say, a grant here. So I'll go to one at the top. Right, this is for Costa Rica, travel, training, and logistics for Costa Rica. So you can always view the grant directly, go to the direct grant link site, and then you can copy the link and paste it into ChatGPT and ask ChatGPT what is the whole entire purpose or mission behind this particular grant. Okay, so you can always do that to give yourself clarity. There's grants for so many different projects here. I got a grant through grants.gov to be able to come here to West Africa. And to spread the grant love, spread more small business development education. This was before the U.S. aid was taken out of Nigeria. And then, that was really good. Once they took out the U.S. aid, then, that grant program terminated. All right, so you have grants.gov that you can use. And then you have HelloSkip. I don't know, HelloSkip is not working for me either, but you have HelloSkip as well that you can use to find grants. HelloSkip is very good when we're talking about if you're just starting your grant writing journey. HelloSkip has a dashboard that you can go to, and they have a list of other grants with the qualifications, and you can apply to that grant directly through HelloSkip. Personally, I don't like applying to grants through HelloSkip. I like to apply directly through the website. But to give you more of an understanding of what grant applications look like, what type of questions they're asking, you can always use HelloSkip to reassure yourself and to increase your grant writing skills. Okay. All right. Any questions? Any questions? First off, happy Friday, everybody. Happy Friday to Egypt Dorsey. Thank you so much for being here. Hi, business. I think you meant to say business bestie. Thank you so much for being here. Our friend here says, can I get help with a grant for my fashion business? Absolutely. Actually, there's a grant right now for fashion. Let me see if I can find it. I seen it yesterday. Let me see if I can find it again. There is multiple grants for creatives. Did we go? Actually, the $150,000 Zoom grant is for creatives. Yeah, for solopreneurs. Let me bring it up. for you, friend. I'm gonna share my screen. You have to be a US-based business as well for this one, of course. But I'll reassure you and double check. But let me see. let me see. Let me see. But yeah, there is a grant for you who you know, you're looking to do a fashion business. This is it. I'm actually applying to this grant for you guys for just $37. So if you want me to submit the actual grant application for you because you might not have the time to, that's fine. I'll do it for you for just $37. You can always scan the QR code in the top right hand corner or the top corners of this particular video. So this is a $150,000 opportunity. They're also giving you community support, visibility. So they're actually going to put you on the Zoom digital platforms. If you don't know what Zoom is the worldwide best virtual meeting like conference app. Resources, so they give you extra resources, and then of course the $150,000 to the top 5 winners. If you are into creative and design, they are actually looking for you, all right, as well as technology and SaaS. So if you're selling software as a service, that's what SaaS means. Wellness and lifestyle, if you're a yoga coach, if you're selling teas and herbal things, that's good. You can do that. Social impact in communities, so if you are doing things like helping persons with disabilities, veterans, offering job training programs to your community, that's really good. Professional services, if you are a doctor, if you are a lawyer, an attorney, if you are a certified public accountant, because it's tax season time, so you can apply now. If you do things like plumbing, you know, electrical services, there you go. Education, media, and more, okay? So if you're a content creator, yes, you can apply to this one, okay? All right, so what they're looking for in this particular $150,000 grant opportunity, they want to know how unique your business is, all right? What differentiates you, what makes you so different, and they want to know what makes your idea, product, or approach so different, okay? So you are in the fashion industry, what makes you different from anybody else who's starting in the fashion industry, or, you know, from other fashion lines, right? Performance. So they want to know evidence of growth, traction, or business sustainability. So if you're in the fashion industry, tell us like some traction. What do you have? Have you already created some pieces ready to wear? Are you more into wedding gowns, whatever have you? If you are, then what does that look like? Have you actually went to a few fashion weeks? So let's say Fashion Week in Paris. Have you been going there have you went to your first one? Were you able to connect with people? Are you ready? Are you at this stage where you have enough ready to wear? You have enough, you know, pieces to actually do a fashion, like one of those like fashion weeks and stuff. Impact. So they want you to demonstrate contribution to customers or communities or industries. So they want to know how impactful you are. Authenticity. So obviously they want you to be original, all right? Authentic and influence. Okay, so that's what they're looking for. This grant application ends on February 13th, so you have about February 13th to submit this grant application. I'll put the link here in the chat for you. And then also you have by, so Q1 is when they're actually going to tell you that when you were selected, okay? So Q1 is when they'll tell you when you were selected. Here's the actual link I just put up here on the screen, so you can screenshot it. And then Q1 is when they're going to select the winners, the top 5 winners, and then the winners will be announced in Q2. Okay, so that's how that works. Can a non-U.S. resident apply? It says at this time the program is open to U.S.-based solopreneurs only. Applicants must be operating primarily within the United States. Okay, so that's to reassure you all about this particular opportunity. Okay, so there's the link. I just put it at the bottom of the chat. Thank you so much for you know, your question. And to continue on, you said, what about the UK-based businesses? Yeah, there are UK-based business, you know, grants that you can go for. I'm pretty sure you guys might have your own grant website. What I would highly suggest to you, friend, is I would suggest that you do a Google search or use DeepSeek or ChatGPT and say, I have a fashion line and I am looking for small business grants to help me with my fashion line development. And then, you know, let the internet do its thing. It should find some foundations for you. Go through those different foundations. Also, what I noticed for creatives like artists, if you are into music, if you are into media like film and production, if you are into fashion lines and things like that, you guys are supposed to join your own communities and other nonprofit foundations that actually fund your projects. So it's very important that you network as much as possible, because networking is literally your best friend when we're talking about entering in the creative space. Okay, awesome. And the same thing goes for Ghana-based businesses. Okay, the same thing goes for you guys as well. All right, there are international opportunities that you can go for. So just definitely do that Google search. Where I would start. That's where I would start. I'm hoping that my answer was good enough for you. Let me know in the chat frame. Good day, good day. We have spoken before. I could use your hands-on help. Absolutely, let me know. When I can help you out. You can always schedule a consultation. The link is in the description. Okay. All right. So, any other additional questions before we move forward? I hope you guys drop it in the chat. While you're dropping your questions in the chat, so yeah, grants.gov. That's the United States government website that you can use for, any government or federally funded grants based out of the United States. You can also use HelloSkip. HelloSkip is really good. And grantwatch.com. I wasn't able to show you guys GrantWatch, but grantwatch.com, you do have to pay a monthly subscription. It is not free. It's $50 a month or $20 a week. And you will have access to thousands of grants. Okay, I was actually going to use that grant search engine today to find grants, but my VPN is kind of messing up today. Okay. All right, so let's move forward. Let's talk about how to actually be prepared for these grants. Yesterday, I went over, if you want to check out the live stream from yesterday, but yesterday I actually went over, let me see if I can bring it up here. I went over 7 things that you need to have before you decide to go for grant opportunities. I'm going to go ahead and show you guys briefly. We'll go through it briefly here, and then we'll talk more about high probability grants and how to answer those grant questions. I really would love for you guys to drop any questions in the chat, because I want to make sure that I'm answering any of your questions or concerns or curiosities about how to actually win small business grant opportunities. Okay, so let me bring this up. Small business grants, actually winning them is not hard. When we're talking about going for grants, it's the thing where it's like the more the merrier. The more you submit, the better. All right, the more you submit, the more applications you submit, you have access to, the better, friend. Okay, that's just how it works. It's way better. So yeah, bear with me one moment. Let me go ahead and share my screen here. All right, so 7 steps to properly set up your business. This is a frequently asked question I get as well. So some of you guys are like, well, what does it take for me to be properly prepared for business grants? Here it is. Keep in mind that grants do not check your personal credit, and you don't have to provide your personal information like a social security number or anything like that. It's free money that you can get. You do not have to pay it back. And all you have to do is explain to them what your business is about, and just be properly prepared. So let's move forward. Number 1, you need to actually register your company. If you guys believe, and I had a comment yesterday, one person said, well, I am a startup and I need an LLC, so is there a grant that can actually purchase or pay for my LLC? No, you are actually not what's called a startup. You are in what's called the idea phases. Being in the idea phases is when you simply have an idea, but you actually did not register your company as a business yet, and you don't even have a business bank account or even got your EIN number. So technically you are not a startup. You have not started anything. You don't have a start date. Okay, you are in the idea phases. So if you are in the idea phases, there may be some great opportunities for you by being in the idea phases, but you will have lesser amounts of grant opportunities, because in 2026 and beyond, they actually want to fund companies and organizations and businesses who are already operating and who can actually show proof and need for the actual grant. Showing the need for the grant is actually showing traction, showing that you have already put the efforts in to actually make sales or gain, testimonials, or to start getting people to know more about your service and product. So they would love to give you $100,000 so you can keep on moving forward and possibly get to the point of hiring people and showing commitment to your community. So register your business. Register your business through your state. That's number 1, and you will need to have your LLC in some cases, or your business registration. And in most of these grant applications, you need to provide an EIN number. Okay, so there you have it. Number two, establish a business bank account. Small business grantors will not fund your personal account. So when you have won a grant, let's say for $50,000, if they want to go ahead and give you the money, they're going to ask you to fill out a form and they're going to send it via ACH, which they're going to wire transfer the money to you. But they want to know, where they're sending it to. If you put your first and last name, account and routing number on the as the bank name or whatever, in the information, that they're not going to send it directly to you because they know that this is going to a personal account. Um, Business grants, right? Grant funders want to see where the money will go and the proof that you're separating personal versus business finances. So if you are literally making sales and it's going into your personal account, that is a big no-no, right? You are literally stealing from your business. So it needs to go inside of your business bank account. Make sure you open up a business bank account. My favorite one is JP Morgan Chase. I've never had any issues, no cyber issues, no fraud issues. Keep in mind that there are some bank fees and some bank requirements, like bank account requirements that you might have. The one that I have, you have to have at least $500 in the account at the end of every month before they charge you about $50 to $100 in bank fees. If you don't have that money in there. So keep in mind that whichever bank you go for, make sure you read the terms and conditions or just go directly to the bank itself and ask the bank manager or the teller, whoever is signing your account, opening the account for you, ask specific questions so you can reassure yourself on what it takes to keep this account open, okay? All right, so 3, create a simple yet strong business plan. Very important. Many grant applications require your goals, growth plan, and financials. Include your mission, products and service, market research, revenue model, and how you'll use the grant funds. This is very important. Your business plan actually needs to coincide and be consistent. There we go. Your business plan needs to be consistent with the answers that you're actually putting on the grant application. Towards the end of the grant application, in most cases, they would actually have a place where you can upload things like your executive summary or your full business plan. So you need to make sure that the information you have in your business plan literally explains the goals that you plan to reach and how much it costs for you to reach those goals. So that way it aligns with your entire mission. It's no point of you answering the grant question saying, oh, with this $100,000, we're going to invest into all of these key parts. We're going to spend 25% each in all of these places like marketing, payroll, training, and compliance, whatever the case may be. And your business plan doesn't reflect that. If your business plan financials does not state like how much it costs, or you at least have some sort of spreadsheet there that shows your business expenses and what it takes to operate, well, then your business plan and your growth plan is not consistent with what your answers are. So as a grantor, as a person who's looking at the application and they're like, well, we want to give you the money, but there's inconsistencies here. So we're not sure that the money that we're not sure that the answer you're giving us, it's legit, right? So yeah, if you need a business plan pitch deck completed for you, I will complete them for you for $300. If you don't want me to do it for $300, you don't have the $300, then friend, don't worry about it. You can also create your own business plan and go from there, okay? Develop a digital presence. This is very important in 2026. 2026 and beyond, of course, we are living in digital times. Grant funders will Google you. So they want to see that you have a website. They want to see that you at least have a Google business profile. They want to see you on social media, especially in business social media channels like LinkedIn. All right, so you need to have some sort of internet presence that shows that you are serious about your brand development and marketing. All right, that shows that you're marketing your business. Okay, it makes no sense in 2026, honestly, for you to be a business or a startup and you haven't opened up a LinkedIn and you haven't told anybody through LinkedIn or through social media like Instagram, TikTok, or Facebook. You haven't told anybody about your service or product. Are you really a business or are you just playing around? Right. Number 5, organize key documents in a grant folder. So this makes the grant writing process so seamless and easy to submit grant applications because you will have a designated folder that has all of the necessary documents ready to go for each grant opportunity that requires these documents. So your grant folder needs to have your business registration, your EIN letter, your operating agreement if you are a LLC, your business plan, A pitch deck. A pitch deck is the PowerPoint version of your business plan. Okay, if you didn't know that, definitely Google it. And as you continue to grow in business, you should know what a pitch deck is and what a pitch is in general in business. Okay, profit and loss or startup cost sheet. You need to have that. Photos, links, and brochures. You need to have that as well inside of your grant folder. 6, gather proof of impact. Collect testimonials, case studies, data, and photos and videos. So if you are actually starting your own, company where you are selling products, then you need to create small samples and give those samples out and collect testimonials from those free samples you have given out. It's very important that you show traction. That is one way you show traction. Show us what you have already done to show us that your product is needed or your service is needed. I have, in my days, I have given out free grant writing services. I actually get on here every day and give out a piece of my free grant writing service when I am telling you all of this good information for free. And no grant writer is actually telling you this for free on social media, not as in depth and in detail as I am doing, okay? A lot of them want you to sign up for their 3-day boot camp, 5-day boot camp, and then towards the end, they want to sell their multi-thousand-dollar, tens of thousands of dollars of service to you. So I'm not doing that. I get on YouTube all the time. I've been dedicated to this for the last 6 to 7 years. And it's proof of impact because I have like over 50,000 subscribers and growing and counting since I started. So that is my proof of traction. I talk about grants all the time. You guys, at least 50,000 or 57,000 of you that actually watch my videos, you're actually interested. So, you know what I mean? That shows my proof that I'm giving you free information, right? And you also have the ability, because we're doing live streams, you have the ability to ask me any questions or any concerns or curiosities you might have about grant writing. So that way you don't have to pay my $50 consultation, or you don't have to pay for a more expensive consultation with another grant writer. You understand what I'm saying? So for you, you need to do the same. You need to show proof of impact, and you need to gather all of those testimonials and things like that. Now, if you need help with that part and you need me to strategize that for you, let me know in the chat and just tell me a little bit about your business, and I'll tell you right here live on YouTube. Last but not least, craft a 90-second elevator pitch video. So an elevator pitch is you literally talking about what you do, who you serve, why your product and service is needed now, and how this funding would actually help you grow. All right, so all of that needs to be said in a 90-second pitch video. Most of these grants in 2026, especially that I'm seeing right now, they are requiring you to upload your pitch video. All right, one way that you can share it, you can simply record your video, use the backside camera of your phone, just like I'm using. You can record yourself. It's always good to hear directly from the founders. So record yourself, introduce who you are to the company, what you guys do, who you serve, why now? So why are you, why is this needed now? And how this funding would actually help, how funding would help your business grow. Once you have recorded the video, you can upload the video to your Google Drive and share the link on the application. You can upload the actual entire video, the 90-second video, directly to the application, or you can upload it on YouTube, make it as a private link or a private video, and then you can copy the share link and put it on the grant application as well, okay? Here's a bonus tip for you guys. Don't wait until you see a grant to get ready. Stay ready, all right? And I always say this, if you are already ready, you don't have to get ready. Yeah, there you go, all right? So, any questions about what I just went over? Glory be to God. Glory be to God, you guys. Drop your questions in the chat if you have any. If not, then we'll move forward. I'll give you 2 minutes. While I search for this other things that I have in here. Any questions, you guys? What is this? I can't find it for some reason. So what I was looking for some reason, I don't know. I don't know. I probably have to look for it. That's weird. All right, so we went over what a grant is. A small business grant is a reward that you can receive. It's free money, no credit checks, no personal information needed, and you don't have to pay it back. You can get it from a business entity like Amazon, Google, Walmart, all these big companies. You can also get it state and local funded, as well as you can get this small business grants from private investors and private funders. And you also know that I use grantwatch.com to find these grants. You can visit helloskip.com. It's a free app you can download on your phone. And as well as grants.gov for those more established businesses who are looking for high ticket grant opportunities. So you know that I've used those sites. We also went over 7 things that you need to have before you decide to move forward with going for any grants. I'm hoping that I answered the majority of your questions. I wanted this grant, our grant live to kind of be, more of like a Q&A. I hope you guys are actually applying to grants. We actually went over a $150,000 grant opportunity today, so I hope you check that out. And yeah, happy Friday, you guys. If there's no further questions, I gave you guys some time to drop questions in the chat, and so I won't take up any more of your time with just watching me. Go ahead and use some of those examples, everything that we went over today. Go ahead and start searching and applying to grants on your own. And I will see you guys in another video, okay? I'll see you guys probably later today or tomorrow, all right? Also, I dropped a video earlier about a $5,000 grant that you might want to check out today, right now. It's active right now, okay? I'll see you guys tomorrow, all right? Be blessed and have a great rest of your day. Bye-bye for now.